Life is hard, only one good thing. Suffering is pretty much a certainty and only varies in the degree. Most people experience some happiness during their lifetime. A good part of the world suffers due to a lack of basic needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. Many suffer from a lack of sleep and some from various diseases. People unexpectedly have accidents that seriously disable them. Some enjoy great success, receive honor, live comfortable lifestyles. Nonetheless, life in the sense of its shortness catches up with everyone. People hope their eventual passing will be without much suffering. If we live long enough, we will experience the loss of many friends and family. It seems to most people that there is nothing to look forward to, as eventually we will die, and that is unknown, and there is no comfort with such uncertainty. Many think we go out of existence, and that is logical if we came into existence by some accident. Yet there is one explanation of our existence that provides something very good. God creates humankind differently, and with a little understanding from the scriptures, that means we are eternal. That would be consistent with God's purpose to share in the divine nature. God's indication that humankind is created in the image of God gives them an ongoing existence after the body is gone. The scriptures define a test for humankind with God-defined rules, and those rules include things that must be avoided called sin. Additionally, God reveals a wonderful ending for some and a very terrible ending for others. The good ending is the only thing to look forward to in life, and it will be beyond our imagination of the best thing possible. It is achieved by not dying in sin. The other side of the coin is the worst possible outcome and is exceedingly worse than we can imagine. God is perfectly fair in his judgment, yet few will understand how God can be fair if any experience eternal loss. Nonetheless, Jesus is clear in declaring that only a few will succeed. What lies ahead is known to those who love the truth. God is very clear. In the most important matter in your life, the world of religion does not help, but in fact misleads. Life is much more serious than the imagination of humankind, that is, the doctrines of humankind that are claimed to be from God. The truth is hard to hear, as it can be overwhelmingly different than what you have been taught. The masses accept the deceit of the religions of the world. The religions of Catholicism and Protestantism, of Islam, of Mormonism, of Hinduism, of Buddhism, and all the others have no connection with God. So, what lies ahead if you follow any of these? Well, it will be a failed life. It is hard to be critical of those who reject the religions of the world if their reasons are related to the evil they have observed in those organizations. The greatest evil of religion is that they mislead people by indicating there is hope of a good ending when there is none. What lies ahead? What is the answer to succeeding? Jesus is the answer, but it is not the mere calling of his name in, believing in him. If it were, it could be called the 16th century religion of Martin Luther. However, the 1st century inspired Christianity is the answer, and that requires the doctrine of Christ and living that life every day. 2 John 1 verse 9. Whoever transgresses and does not abide in the doctrine of Christ does not have God. He who abides in the doctrine of Christ has both the Father and the Son. You must live your life for Jesus and the gospel, and in no other way can you please God. Mark 8 verse 35. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. Losing your life refers to not living it for yourself, but for Christ and the gospel. Sharing in the divine nature is not for those who lived for themselves. Where is the evidence that these religions are false? The books on the next page can help inasmuch as they are consistent with the Word of God. The truth is exceedingly different than the religions of the world, including those things taught by the so-called Christian religions. These books represent an effort to help people realize the truth about life. This is the truth as long as it is consistent with the Word of God. God completed his communication with humankind almost 2,000 years ago. Nothing more is needed for humankind to succeed. Sadly, humankind has been changing the Word of God even during the time it was being created, as indicated in Galatians the 1st chapter. These books can help anyone to understand how this happened and how all these religions came into existence. Additionally, by understanding God's purpose and His character, many questions can be answered. For example, one might wonder why God allowed this mess called religion to occur. That is easy to answer if you let God speak, and in no other way can you get to the correct answer. There is so much to know about God and life, and He has graciously provided help. He wants you to succeed. These books help you to build a foundation based on understanding God and life, and it will be breathtaking.